YouTube, what it is, it's your boy Gettin, and I'm back with another live stream. Another Good Morning Drive is where I drive into work and talk to you guys about whatever topic and whatever other topics. Sometimes we're going to have one topic, sometimes we're going to have multiple. This time we're going to have one topic. But before we get to that topic, I want to wish everybody out here a wonderful, beautiful day today, and I hope you guys had a great Father's Day. I myself am a father. I got a little 4-year-old at home, and things always are busy in my household, just with the one kid. So if you got one or more kids, God bless you guys. And for real, happy happy belated Father's Day to you guys. And yeah, it was a busy week. It was a busy day. I had a great Father's Day. It was nothing too special, but it was just good being around my child. And I'm teaching him swim lessons because I used to teach swim lessons. So I'm trying to pass off whatever knowledge I can to him. And yeah, he's learning quite well. I thought he was going to take a little longer than expected, because I'm thinking he got all the swimming in his blood, but he was afraid of the water for a little bit, and he didn't want to put his face in the water. Then out of nowhere, he just surprised me and just started putting his face in the water, ducking himself into the water, holding his breath, holding his nose, all this type of good stuff, beautiful things. And that was like the best Father's Day gift, honestly. And, I warmed him up to it because I had him jumping in the water. I was throwing him up in the air, and I used to do that with him when he was a baby. So it was just special for me. I actually felt a little overwhelmed that, with love and all that, because he started to grasp the idea of swimming, and, I think he's on his way. Now that he can put his face in the water, he's going to be on his way. We're going to be swimming soon. But yeah, that was great for me, and I hope you guys had a great Father's Day as well. Yeah, so I mean, if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we could definitely chat it up. Good morning to everyone out there, and again, I hope everyone had a great Father's Day, or you were with your father. If your father isn't with us anymore, just know he's probably looking down at you from afar. I mean, yeah, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers that's with us and not with us. And good morning to everyone. I hope everybody, again, had a great weekend, and have a great start to your day on this Monday. Over here in New Jersey, it's rainy, it's cloudy, but I'm looking at it. That's a good thing. And excuse me for my for the audio. Right now, it's kind of smooth, I think, but once I get on this highway, I don't think it's going to be as good. My mic is busted. I noticed it on my last Good Morning Drive that I don't know what happened, but as soon as I took the phone off the little holder here, Kaz, what's going on? Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Happy Father's Day if you're a father. Happy Father's Day to your father. It just stopped working. So the mic stopped working. I gotta get something else now. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go wirelessly, because that way I don't have to worry about any kind of mic situation. Thank you guys for coming through. Please hit that like. It definitely helps out my channel grow, and I definitely appreciate it. So thank you guys for coming through. But yeah, so the topic that we're going to talk about today, and I could really, I'm only going to start gameplay, right? But we're going to talk about NBA 2K versus Madden. The reason why we bring up NBA 2K when talking about Madden is because the NFL exclusivity is it's either going to stay exclusive to EA, or it's going to open up and the NFL is going to allow other companies to make a NFL game. And I just truly believe that the NFL wants to open up the license, because the NFL can make double the money. I just saw that the NBA 2K deal with the NBA and the NFL PA, not the NFL, NBA PA, went for $1.1 billion. Billion with a B, and that's not an exclusive license. That's a license where anyone else could come out here and make a NBA game, unlike EA's NFL license. So if you think about it, if whoa, we got some super chats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Z. I really appreciate you. I do have some supporters. This person in particular definitely supports the channel, and I definitely appreciate that person. That person is awesome, and thank you so much. So yeah, the NBA license, anyone can make an NBA video game if they had the money to. Unlike EA's license, no one can make a NFL game because of EA's license, and yet they were charged $1.5 billion for the exclusive license. So if the NBA license is $1.1 billion for, I don't know, it was probably, if I do the math really quickly, 7 years, you're not talking a big difference here. So if the NFL would open up the license, they could potentially make double the money on licensing fees. 1.5 billion from EA, another, or 1.1 billion from EA, another 1.1 billion from 2K. That's a lot of bread. That's so much money. And you think the NFL is going to not do that? I don't know. That's too much money to pass up on. And the potential of NFL My Player mode, right? Which to me is a mode that's a no-brainer, because I was just looking at what you could do in EA's Superstar mode, and you could only play with quarterback, running back, linebackers, and running backs. I don't think I said running back. There's only 5 positions you could play. Whereas in NBA 2K, you could play as all of the positions, right? So yeah, let me heart that. That's there's a lot more depth in a NFL, potentially in an NFL 2K My Player game, and then you could take those players and play online with them, so, and it'll have its own little world and all that type of stuff, just like NBA 2K. That'll cost NBA 2K a lot of money, or 2K a lot of money, but they're going to get that money back, and the NFL will make that money, make that percentage of whatever the percent is, 20%, 15%, 10% of the profits. The NFL could double up their money quickly, within 3 or 2 years, because you got to give time for NFL 2K to get up and running, redevelop a fan base, which I think they're going to develop a fan base very fast, within a year or two, maybe even 3 years at the most. While Madden, I think, is still going to sell well. And I still think EA is going to make their money. I think college football is still going to make their money. I think the market is big enough to hold more than one simulation football game, more than 2, because honestly, Madden, they split their own sales by releasing college football, right? I think these people that are playing college football are the people who used to buy Madden and now only buying college football, So I still think the sales of Madden is still pretty good. So I don't think it's a bad thing. All right. So what's happening to you? What's going on, man? Good question. I think you're asking. How you making a park version of football? What makes 2K work with basketball is it can be played with different number of players, 1, 2, 3, 5s. How does it work with football? And I'll explain to you how it works with football. It's going to work a little bit where you could do 2v2, 4v4 with the rest of the AIs, right? But besides that, and maybe I don't know if I should say it, but I think it's kind of no-brainer, right? You do 7 versus 7, right? You could do 7 versus 7. I am playing or have played ESG football 7-on-7. Don't think for a half a minute or a blink of an eye worth of thinking that there's no football in a 7 versus 7 simulation football game. On contrary, 7 versus 7 simulation football in ESG is more simulation than it is in Madden. By far, not even close. There's so much more simulation football in ESG football, a brand new game and made by an independent developer, mind you, than in Madden 1 versus 1. More simulation. You're not going to get more simulated in a football game by having 7 players at the same time, or even 11 versus 11. So there's your answer right there. You break it up into 2 or 3 different types, right? You could do head versus, head to head, right? 1 versus 1, or that's one mode, 1 versus 1. You could have 7 versus 7, that's 2 modes. 11 versus 11 potentially, that's 3 modes. Or you could have whatever number with the CPU and other CPU players going up against other whatever amount of human players. So you have 4 modes that you could do that I think would be popping in an NFL 2K environment. Because I'm telling you right now, ESG football is a fire-ass football game. The idea of that is right. Also, he says, I think the My Team triple threat park would work. 1 player controls the team. Yeah, you could do 1 player versus 3 players. You could do a whole bunch of stuff in a my player park type situation when it comes to NFL 2K. And I just got to say this, and I should have said this before, but I am so tired of this campaign against NBA 2K stating that I don't know why people would want a NFL game made by the same developers who made NBA 2K, because NBA 2K is trash or they're greedy or whatever the case is. I hate that campaign. When I say hate that campaign, what I am really saying is I see through that campaign. I think a lot of people who make those type of videos potentially or possibly or allegedly could be sponsored by a certain company, a certain entity. Look at this trooper over here in the cut. He all up in the grass trying to catch somebody. God damn. Jeez. They're never right there. Yeah, I just think that it's a no-brainer for the NFL to open up their licensing, and for in NBA 2K to not NBA 2K, but 2K / Visual Concepts, the people who make it. That has never ever happened before. That has never happened before. Never. I have never been in a live, right? Never been in a live, had that many people watching me speaking about anything and it disconnected at that part of my journey to work. That has never, ever, ever, ever happened. Never happened. And I see that we're online again. That has never, ever happened. Never happened. I've never been disconnected from a live right there, right where I was on the parkway, right? Never, ever. Could it be that somebody was watching my video? Could it be that somebody was watching and wanted to stunt my live? Come on. Come on, that's a crazy coincidence. But my channel's too small for anyone to be looking at my channel and looking at me as a threat. But still, that's crazy that I'm talking about something that a lot of people don't want to hear, in terms of, like, these corporations, EA or whatever. They don't want to hear how good it would be for another company to make a NFL game, how much money the NFL would make, you know. But yeah, so what happened to you says, oh, actually, before that, Lion Revenge 82, are you getting College Football 26? If you're still here, I don't know if you are or not, but I'm probably going to get both Madden and College Football 26 just to grow the channel, just to make more content. I kind of have to, because, I'm a content creator. So EA will never give me those games for free, so I got to go out there and buy them myself. But, I am accepting donations. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so I'll be getting that. I'll be getting both, probably. I'm going to be playing all football games. Lion Revenge 82. I'll be playing them all. And it's crazy. I'm telling you, I've never had my life cut out where I was driving. Never. I've never lost connection where I was driving. That was just odd. That was just odd to me. But anyway, weird things happen. What happened to you says, it's a money grab. I spent over $500 on each 2K. That's wild. That's wild. That's super wild. $500. Dang. Not proud of that. Of that. Just facts. Never spend money on any other game like 2K. Yeah, and that's why they do it. And 2K is no different than any other corporation. You see, how about this? If EA can make a good amount of money by not spending any more money on their product, that's how they're going to keep it. If 2K knows they have to spend more money, NBA 2K and Visual Concepts know that they have to spend more money to get us to spend more money, right? So that's why they do it. They do it because they know they can. If gamers out there would not spend money on the extras in NBA 2K, we'll see a drastic improvement in NBA 2K. Though, I preface that with saying that there's a lot of depth in NBA 2K. My player mode, offline, online, whatever you want to call it. There's so much depth in these games. And I'm going to make a video about what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to gameplay, strategy, and settings and all this type of stuff. I was blown away. With the amount of detail that's in NBA 2K25. I recently purchased NBA 2K25 for $10, right? I probably won't be getting NBA 2K26, because me and my boys don't really play like that anymore. And my other partner that I game with, he doesn't play NBA 2K anymore. I used to bust his ass. He used to beat me too. We used to have great times playing NBA 2K, right? And he was a Nets fan. I'm a Knicks fan, diehard Knicks fan. I'm a diehard Giants fan. All blue. I used to like the Mets when I was into baseball. I bleed blue everywhere. So me and him used to go at it, the Nets versus the Knicks. And then when I start whooping on him, no matter what team he plays with, he goes out there and tries to get the best teams out there. And I'll still try to play with the Knicks until, because NBA 2K is a bit more of a simulation game in terms of competitiveness. And that's a good or a bad thing, whatever. You could play with a much better team, and not be that great of a player, and you would beat a better player, a bit better player. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people do like that. That's where Madden is actually better, in my opinion, because you don't have to play with the best teams to be good in Madden, because all the teams practically play the same. It's really the playbooks that you run is what determines if you're good in Madden or not. You know, the playbooks, the plays that you run, the plays that you know that make the computer do stupid things. That's what makes you good in Madden, not necessarily stick skills and all these other things. You know, I said not necessarily, so that means not only. So, but anyway, I was blown away by NBA 2K's depth and coach settings, offensive schemes, and when I say offense, I mean real offensive schemes, not picking plays. To me, picking plays is not a scheme. It's just picking plays. So I don't know. I just don't understand this campaign that really tries to crap all over NBA 2K versus the game that they're playing, Madden. There's so many problems with Madden. There's so much boredom when it comes with Madden, or dare I say EA football games. And I'm gonna dive into that in a separate video because I got cut off on my line and I was rambling. I was kind of all over the place. That's why I like to do lives versus making my videos, because it brings out another side of me, more of a raw side of me in terms of my videos, which are a bit more calculated and way better put together. But yeah, so I'm looking at these settings in NBA 2K. I'm like, where the hell is this in Madden? Madden, or football, pro football, is more of a strategic game than the NBA pros. NBA pros, really, the NBA players really make a big portion of the offense of how games go in real life. NBA players, that doesn't happen in football. Really, it's if you have a great quarterback who understands a system extremely well and is a veteran, or it could be a younger player, but most of the time the coaches are not allowing them to check out of plays. We know this because we're football guys, right? We know this. That doesn't happen in the NBA. In the NBA, a lot of the time, it's only it'll be like 2 or 3 players that could kind of do what they want, but they're freestyling. The teams are freestyling. They actually have a term for it in the NBA. I think it is called freestyle offense. They're freestyling their offense instead of running a set offense. A lot of NBA coaches now have adapted to that, right? So there's way more coach strategy when it comes to the NFL versus the NBA. But in NBA 2K, you have so many strategies within NBA 2K, right? I was blown away. And they describe the strategy, and they even let you know how good this player can work in this scheme or the way that you're going to play. And I'll give you an example. On the screen, you'll have these circles, right? That correlates, it would be like an image of the NBA player, right? I was just looking at the Lakers, right? And for what was it, set the pace type of offense that JJ Redick allows these players to run. You saw that LeBron had a green almost full circle. Luka had a green almost full circle, and other players had different various limits or levels to that green circle. But then you play perimeter, all the perimeter players all go green, like full circle, especially like Luka. I forgot the other guy's name. I'm not a Lakers fan, so I don't know. I don't know these guys. I know Luka and LeBron. That's about it. And I forgot these guys' names. But my point is so much depth just within that level of gameplay in NBA 2K. I'm not talking about my player mode. I'm talking about core gameplay that comes right out the box, right? You don't got to spend no money on it, right? And then there's multiple ways to play. You could play a freestyle offense, a pace-to-pace offense, a back down offense, or a low post offense, and it lets you know what players work in that type of offense, and it gives you a description of what that type of offense is and the pros and cons of those type of offenses. That's so much depth in the game. That's just offense. If you go to defense, There is a myriad of different settings. I mean, mind-boggling, almost overwhelming amount of settings that you could put while you're playing the computer or while you're playing online head to head. It's extremely competitive. It's extremely deep, like almost too deep, right? Head to head. But Madden doesn't have that at all. Well, very little. You could change, from what I know, and it hasn't changed much, right? It hasn't changed much. I remember looking at it in Madden 23, I think, where you have conservative, aggressive, or neutral, right? In certain aspects, like stopping the run and all this type of stuff. You can make very shallow halftime adjustments. Um, and then you have zone adjustments. That's it. That's as far as it goes. You can't really adjust how the defensive line is going to react to the quarterback, right? You could do that on the field, but you can't do that in terms of, like, it's either white or black. It's no gray area. You know what I'm saying? You could slash left, slash right, crunch, all those things, all those typical things that's in Madden. But there's no settings within those settings, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So there's a lot to be desired in terms of Madden, and Madden is a pro simulation football game. It should be. It's an NFL game, right? But you don't get that anywhere near that pro level of strategy in the game, right? NBA 2K destroys Madden. And what do you think Visual Concepts is going to do if they created a NFL game? They're going to take that right there and throw it right into NFL 2K eventually. I don't think it's going to be when it first comes out, because it takes a long time to develop a game. Obviously we know that they've had the NFL license for God knows how long, and they have yet to even talk about what they are doing with that NFL 2K license. So we'll see what they do. Again, I'm going to make a video about this. Hopefully I could get it done this week, because it's a lot to talk about, but I don't think I'm going to go super, super deep. I'm going to try to keep it light so that people could digest it better. And it's going to be just easier on me to keep it light instead of going balls in trying to compare Madden to NFL 2K. And it's seriously, in my opinion, I really feel like it's a campaign against 2K. It's a paid for campaign against 2K. But anyway, that's the live. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Again, I'm going to make a video on it. I'm going to talk more in depth on it, have a clearer thought. Thank you guys for coming through. Z, thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you. Hopefully, if anybody else want to send me a super chat or something like that, I'll definitely take it. I definitely appreciate it, y'all. Yeah. So you guys have a great day. Have a great one. Tomorrow we are going live with Maximum Football Update 1.0. We got our weather. We got more animations. We got better gameplay. I was just playing Maximum Football on Xbox, and it actually plays better than the PC version. So I'm all about it. Let's go. And yeah, I'll be playing on that PlayStation 5. Your boy bought a PlayStation 5 just for ESG football. I'm a football fanatic right now. So let's go. You guys have a great one. Talk to y'all later. That's all I got. So I'm out of here. Peace. Yeah.